Welcome! Today, we are diving into how to create some truly thoughtful, beautiful, and budget-friendly gifts. And yep, they all start with a simple jar.
Look, we've all been there, right? You want to give something special, something with a personal touch, but you're maybe a little short on time or fresh ideas. Well, what if I told you the answer could be sitting right in your kitchen cabinet? Let's explore how a simple glass jar can become the perfect canvas for a gift for pretty much any occasion you can think of.
Now, when you hear gifts in a jar, I bet your mind probably jumps straight to cookie mix. And don't get me wrong, that's a fantastic classic, but the possibilities, they are virtually endless.
Okay, so let's start with the one we all know and love. Those delicious, ready-to-make baked goods. This is really where the whole trend took off, and for good reason.
To really get how this works, let's break down a classic, the Snickerdoodle cookie mix. Now, the real secret here is the layering. It's not just for show, though, come on, it does look amazing. It also keeps all the ingredients perfectly portioned until it's time to get baking. So inside that jar, you're gonna have all the dry ingredients measured out perfectly. We're talking your flour, your sugar, and the leavening agents like baking soda and powder. You just carefully pour them in one by one to create that beautiful, almost sand art kind of look.
And here's where the magic happens. The gift tag tells your friend everything else they need to do. They just add the wet ingredients, the butter and eggs, follow the super simple instructions, and bam! In minutes, they have fresh, homemade cookies that they made themselves, kinda.
And the best part is, you can use this exact same idea for dozens of other recipes. Think about it. Rich double fudge brownies, hearty cowboy cookies, classic chocolate chip bars. The method is always the same. Layer the dry stuff and let the tag do all the talking.
But who says a gift in a jar has to be sweet? The same concept opens up this whole new world of creative savory meals and even some custom drinks.
On the savory side, just imagine layering colorful beans, pasta, and aromatic spices for a comforting friendship soup mix. Or for a cozy night in, how about a rich and creamy hot cocoa mix, maybe with some mini marshmallows and peppermint sticks tucked right inside. So good. Sometimes the most impressive gifts are also the simplest. As one recipe creator said, this is an excellent gift for people who say they have everything. And that's because it's not just a thing, it's an experience.
We're talking about infusions. This is where you can get really creative and make these incredibly sophisticated custom-flavored gifts with almost no effort at all. Think about fresh pineapple slowly infusing into golden rum, or a vibrant blueberry liquor. You can even create gourmet infused oils with garlic and sun-dried tomatoes.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting, because you have to remember, the jar is just a container. The gift itself, it doesn't even have to be edible.
For example, with just a few simple tools, you can create a stunning tilted layer candle. And trust me, it is way easier than it looks. You just melt and color your wax, then prop the jar up at an angle to pour that first layer. Once that sets up a bit, you pour the second, and then you set the jar upright for the final layer. It creates this really cool diagonal effect.
Now, here is a pro tip for any of you aspiring candle makers. Patience is everything. You absolutely need to let a new soy wax candle cure for about 1 to 2 weeks before you gift it. This little waiting period is what allows the fragrance to fully bind with the wax, giving your gift the strongest, most beautiful scent possible.
Okay, so you've got your brilliant idea. Now let's cover a few key tips and some common questions to make sure your gift is a guaranteed success from the inside out.
This is a real comment that was found on a recipe blog, and it's a common concern for people who get these jars for the first time, but it actually highlights a really, really important detail.
This is the perfect example of why your instructions are so critical. Of course, the mix is dry. That's the whole point. It's only half the recipe, right? Making sure your gift tag has crystal clear instructions for adding things like butter and eggs is the absolute key to success.
Another question we get all the time is how long do these last? Well, generally, a standard mix without nuts is good for about 6 months. If you add nuts, which have oils that can go bad, you'll want to use it within 3 months. And hey, don't worry if your chocolate chips get a little white film on them. That's just bloom, and they're still perfectly safe and delicious to eat.
You can even turn your own family's secret cookie recipe into a jar gift. Just make sure all the dry ingredients can be stored together okay, provide super clear instructions for the wet stuff, and this is a big one, remember to recommend the correct pan size, because these jar recipes often make smaller batches than you might be used to.
All right, last but not least, let's talk about the finishing touches. The presentation is what transforms your jar of ingredients into a truly beautiful and memorable gift.
And honestly, it doesn't take much. A simple circle of fabric over the lid, tied on with a nice ribbon or some rustic twine, can instantly elevate the whole look. For a little extra charm, you could attach a relevant item, like a cookie cutter for a cookie mix, or a peppermint stick for that hot cocoa jar.
But of all the decorations, there is one piece that is absolutely the most important: the gift tag. Seriously, it's not just a label, it is the instruction manual. This tag is the key that helps your friend turn a jar of powders and chips into a batch of delicious, warm brownies. So remember this, every single gift tag needs to have 3 key things. Number 1, a list of all the extra wet ingredients they're going to need. Number 2, clear step-by-step instructions. And number 3, the final yield. What are they going to have at the end? Makes 24 cookies, for example.
And there you have it, your guide to the wonderful world of gifts in a jar. From comforting soups to cozy candles, the only real limit is your own imagination. So the real question is, what unique and personal story are you going to decide to put in a jar?